Hey everybody, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Sorry, I gotta fix my chair. I'm Dr. Andrea Christian Parks. I'm a board certified OBGYN, weight loss coach, life coach, and I'm here today to talk about GLP-1 some more. So listen, I've been talking about GLP-1s, and the main reason why I'm doing that is because they're very, very popular. And I want you to know what you're getting into if you decide to use one. I have no shade. It's fine. You want to use a GLP-1? No problem. But I want you to know what you can expect to get and what you can't expect to get. And so that's what we're talking about right now. Now, those of you who follow me know I'm a Christian. I believe strongly that God's design for the body is perfect and that if you want to lose weight, you're going to have to do it his way. You can drop 20 pounds, you can drop a lot of weight, but keeping it off means really shifting how you live, how you think. And a lot of the things that we offer in medicine don't cover all of the bases as far as what you need to do permanent weight loss. So let's talk about this menopause thing, because as a gynecologist, this is a big, big topic. And actually one I really love talking about. And I'm right in here with y'all. I am almost 50. I'm going through a lot of the changes myself, and it's a challenge. Let me tell you, though, what exactly is one of the major things I hear from people about weight loss and menopause. What I hear is my metabolism has come to a screeching halt. I can't lose any weight. It's impossible. I'm stuck. And this is apparently the way it's going to be forever because I can eat air and water and gain weight. Okay. And I understand because there definitely changes that happen in the body around menopause, and the weight gain and the weight distribution of what happens in your body, like where you used to store it in your hips or your backside, you're getting it right in the middle. And that's the weight we hate the most, the middle weight, right around the gut. That's the weight that is very, very upsetting because we start to look less curvy and more potato-like. And that's not the look most of us are going for. So I get that. So what does the medical data say? Let's go there real quick. The most current up-to-date medical data is saying that really shifts in our metabolism as far as true drops in our metabolism, our basal metabolic rate. Here's the bad news. It really comes around 60. So for most of us that are noticing this in our mid 30s, late 30s, 40s, that's not the number one thing that's going on. Like your metabolism didn't just stop and there it is and forever. There are some drops in metabolism that biologically are coming around 60, but it's more complicated than that. And so before you give up, and this is why I'm telling you this, before you give up and say, oh, I guess I'm just doomed, I want you to know that your metabolism is actually working, but there's other factors at play. And I'm going to have to spend some time really digging into this and fleshing this out some more in other videos because I can't do it all in one video. But what is the benefit of a GLP-1 with menopause weight gain? So here's what part of what's happening. Part of what's happening when we start getting into these late 40s, early 50s, and our bodies are changing, hormones are shifting. There's a lot of things that are changing as far as other hormones, not just our female hormones, our estrogen, our progesterone, our follicle stimulating hormone, all that kind of thing. Those are changing, but there's other things happening too. When we're not sleeping, some of our hunger hormones are shifting. Our hunger is amplified. Our satisfied, like these are the leptin and ghrelin hormones. The one that tells you you're full, that one is lower. And so you don't feel full as fast. There's a lot of things like that are happening. A lot of us are not exercising and maintaining muscle mass as we age. So we are actually not burning up as much as we take in or as we used to take in. And the thing I used to hear over and over and over and over again in the office is, I'm not changing anything that I'm eating. I'm eating exactly what I've always been eating, and I'm just piling on the weight. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. So that's a real thing. And If you're also doing what most people do, which is continuing to eat the same sorts of foods you were eating in your 20s and 30s, as far as processed foods, as far as lots of takeout, and a lot of us are super busy raising kids, running our household, and there's a lot of takeout and pizza and things like that that are happening. Your body is actually not processing those foods as efficiently, as effectively as it was when you were in your 20s and you could get away with eating like that. So that's one major thing. The other major thing is a lot of us are not exercising anymore like we used to. Like in our 20s, even if we were out of college, we might have been doing some sort of activity or sport or group, whatever, playing tennis or something. Maybe we were walking more or we were active enough in our daily life, just being out and about. If you lived in New York, you're doing a lot of walking in the city or whatever. But as we get older and more affluent and we have a car and we are more able to drive everywhere and less likely to be involved in those sort of physical activities, if we haven't replaced it with some sort of activity that maintains muscle mass, specifically things like lifting weights, we're losing muscle mass. That's just coming for everybody. It's age related. We lose muscle as we age, and that is just a fact of life. So if you don't want to lose that muscle, you have to actively do something to keep it. So there's multiple things like this that are happening. And I think what's happening for a lot of women is all of that is coming together right around menopause. So what do we do? What is the role of a GLP-1 as far as menopause weight gain? What can it do? The good news about a GLP-1 is that it does a lot of what you need as far as managing your intake of food. It will help you manage your appetite. It will give you immediate feedback if you try to overeat. It helps you to stop eating sooner because you are full. You feel full, and that's part of the effect of the medication. That's great. That's the work I do with my clients, just without medication. Some patients, some of my clients have been on GLP-1s and use them from other sources. But the work that I do with people is actually helping them to think about how much they need to eat, when they need to eat, when they don't need to eat, when they need to stop eating, and how to change how they interact and engage with food. That is the work, and GLP-1s can support it for many, many, many people. The other thing that's happening also for a lot of people is if you've been carrying a lot of weight for a while and you are in that age of menopause or perimenopause, a lot of you are insulin resistant, and the GLP-1 can actually help with your insulin resistance and diabetes or prediabetes. So those are the benefits, those are the helps around this menopause weight gain. The problem is the GLP-1s are not perfect. And so there's two big things I want to point out. One, if you don't want to give yourself a shot forever, you've got to figure out how to shift your eating without the medication, because that medication is helpful, but doesn't actually stop you from overeating once you stop taking the medicine. You could lose the weight, stop taking the medicine, and then the weight's coming right back because that feedback that you were getting from the medicine is now gone. You can train yourself to eat differently while you're on the medicine. That's the work I do. And then when you come off the medication, you can maintain your weight loss. But if you just think you're going to take the medicine, lose a bunch of weight, and then stop it, and then nothing's going to happen, you're going to maintain that weight loss, that's not what they're showing in any of the medical data right now. Most people are gaining it back. So that's one thing. The other problem is, for most people, if you don't do the work of the mind and managing how you approach food and what you use food for, and by that I mean things like stress eating and emotional eating and eating for boredom and eating because everybody else is eating and eating because it's dinner time or snack time or lunchtime or breakfast time or whatever time you think you're supposed to eat, if you don't do that mental and emotional work, most people, even on a GLP-1, are not losing that much weight. They're losing some, but they're not losing all that they want to lose. And so for those of you who are trying to figure out, okay, what's the godly way to do this? What's the spiritual focus that I need to really get serious about taking care of my body, my temple, honoring God with my eating? This is a Romans 12 situation. This is where being transformed by the renewing of your mind is the critical work that has to be done. And so doing that work with or without a GLP-1 is what makes the difference in creating permanent, significant weight loss. Because the behavior modification that comes from a GLP-1 gives you some support, but it doesn't take you the whole way. So I have no problem with the GLP-1. I just don't want anybody thinking it's going to do everything that you need. Truthfully, if you couldn't you've seen people cheat a gastric bypass and gain weight back or not lose all the weight they wanted to lose, and they have the majority of their stomach is now gone and they have a stomach pouch this big and they still are not losing the weight that they need to lose or that they really want to lose, a medication isn't going to take you the full way either. And so medicine, weight loss, surgery, whatever it is that you want to do to support your weight loss efforts, I'm here for it. But I'd like to take you the rest of the way. So if you want help, I want you to go to my website, www.drandreachristianparks.com. Go to my YouTube channel if you're not already there. Download my workbook. That's totally free. All you got to do is go in there. I will send it to your email immediately. If you want to work with me, you go on my website, drandreachristianparks.com, go to my calendar. And when you get there, schedule your consult appointment and we will get started. So remember, be transformed by the renewing of your minds. Romans 12, that's the work that makes the long-term difference, aligning your mind with how God designed your body to work. And that's eating and not eating to honor God. So I'll see you next time. Be right back here again. See you soon.